Screen தெரியுதாப்பா?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Okay, guys. So yesterday we were discussing about the Lorentz series expansion of this function. Okay, we expanded this function in the region absolute of z smaller than 1. Okay, now we are expanding this to the region absolute of 1 smaller than absolute of z smaller than absolute of 1 smaller than absolute of z smaller than 2. So this may be, I told you people that this may be split into something like this. So when you have something of this form, you remember that we can expand 1 upon 1 minus z or 1 upon 1 plus z. We can give the expansion to this one, which is valid in this region only. So whatever you have, you will have to try to convert your region into this form. When you try to convert your region into this form, you can do whatever the changes you need, you can do the changes, right? So for which only here what we have done is that here we have this one, but it is in the form of 1 upon z minus 1, but it is valid in this region. This is what they have said, but we need absolute something. Okay, absolute of something which is smaller than 1. So for which what we are doing is that we are just taking the reciprocal and we get something of this sort. Okay, so this is for the first case. Now here we have this one, so this has to be converted. If you just divide this by 2, you get absolute of z upon 2 is smaller than 1. Okay, so in the place of z, we must have 1 upon z in the first term, 1 z upon 2 in the second term, for which only we are doing these calculations. Is that clear?
Yes, sir.
Okay, after that you will have to just substitute the formula that we have already derived. Okay, if you see, it is 1 upon z, and what is it? 1 minus 1 upon 1 upon 1 minus something you have. It is summation n runs from 0 to infinity. What do we have here? My question is, if you have 1 upon 1 minus z, then what is the expansion?
1 by z per n, sir.
So this is summation n runs from 0 to infinity. You will have z power n. Am I right?
Yes, sir.
In the place of z, you have 1 upon z. That's it. That is the change here. So here what you can do, it is 1 upon z to the power n. Okay, then 1 upon 2. Here what is the thing that you'll have?
Summation n tends to 0 to infinity z upon 2 per n.
Class, is that clear? Class, is that clear?
Yes, sir.
Okay.
Yes, sir.
So if you just take this z inside, you would have 1 upon z to the power n plus 1. Here, since your z is independent of n, this can be taken inside the summation, right? And here you can take this quantity inside. So it is summation n runs from 0 to infinity z to the power n upon 2 to the power n plus 1. So this is what we have. Okay, when we combine this, what we are going to have is that 1 upon z to the power n plus 1 plus z to the power n upon 2 to the power n plus 1. Is that it? Am I right?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Okay, so that's it. Here, this is your required Lorentz series expansion, right? Now let us do, that is your f of z is 1 upon z minus 1 minus 1 upon z minus 2 in this region. This is what you have. How are we going to do this? How are we going to evaluate this? Any idea? I think you can try the one way. The other one, I will tell you how to do it. Just compare things in the third subdivision and in the second subdivision. You will get some idea.
Absolute of 1 upon z is less than 2.
Okay. So that is absolute of z is bigger than 2. So which means absolute of 1 upon z is smaller than 2. So in this case, what should we do? Sorry, it is 1 upon 2, right? Okay, yeah. We need something, absolute of something is smaller than 1. That is how we must get. For that, what should we do?
Absolute of 2 divided by z is less than 1.
Yes, good. So absolute of 2 upon z is smaller than 1. Okay, we have done the first way, right? Okay, now what shall we do? It is said that it is some finite quantity. Your absolute of z is some finite quantity. So in this case, from this, what we get is that we can simply write absolute of 1 upon z is smaller than 1. Okay, just take the reciprocal. Whatever may be the finite quantity, when you take the reciprocal, what happens? That quantity is bigger than 2. Okay, from here, we are saying that the minimum value is 2 and it can be less than infinity, means it can be any finite value. Right? When you take the reciprocal of some finite value, whether it is smaller than 1 or bigger than 1. The thing is, you have 2 smaller than absolute of z smaller than, let us say this is m. From this, you know that your m is bigger than 2. Okay. Then what happens with your 1 upon m? Whether this is smaller than 1 or bigger than 1. That is my question.
Smaller than 1, sir.
Smaller than 1. You are sure about it, right? So that is what we have written here. Okay. So these are the changes that we'll have to do in order to complete this problem. Okay. Let us do it. Here, from this, what is the thing that we are going to take it out? So we must take z outside. Right? So it is, when we take z outside, it is 1 minus 1 upon z minus, here what should be taken out? 1 upon, here also if you take z outside, you will have, am I right?
Yes, sir.
Okay, now do the expansion. So the first thing, 1 upon z multiplied with, what do we have? Summation n runs from 0 to infinity.
1 by z the whole power n.
Okay, here minus 1 upon z multiplied with summation n runs from 0 to infinity, then
2 by z the whole power n.
Is that clear? Guys, is that clear?
Yes, sir.
So from this, when you take your z inside, you would get 1 upon z to the power n plus 1 minus summation n runs from 0 to infinity 2 to the power n upon z to the power n plus 1. So when you combine these things, 1 minus 2 to the power n upon z to the power n plus 1. If we wish to have z to the power n in the denominator, we can have summation n runs from 1 to infinity 1 minus 2 to the power n minus 1 upon z to the power n. Am I right? Yes, am I right? Is the calculation understandable?
Yes, sir.
Okay, now, so with which this is valid in this region. Okay, so look for the given region, from that deduce what you want. Okay, we know that the expansion that we have is valid for absolute of something smaller than 1. So we'll have to convert things into that form, and then we can apply the expansions that we have already. Is that clear? Okay, guys, now let me give you a problem that you can try. Can you guys try this? Just think for a moment and tell me how to proceed with this. Anyone? Do you know the expansion of sine 1 upon z square?
Yes, sir.
Yes,
Tell
sir.
me that. Tell me the expansion of sine 1 upon z square.
One by z square
1 by z square
minus 1 by 3 factorial z power 6
z to the power 6
plus 1 by 5 factorial z power 10 minus 1 by 7
etc.
factorial.
Yeah,
Okay.
okay. Minus 7 factorial z to the power. If I'm
14.
not wrong, it is 14 plus etc. Okay. Where is this valid? Your sine expansion is valid in what region? Just tell me whether your sine is analytic everywhere or not.
Sir, it is entire C, sir.
Okay, your sine is entire C. Good. So you have sine 1 upon z square. It means it have problem at only one point, and that point is 0. Am I right?
Yes, sir.
So in the entire plane, you just remove 0. So this is valid. This expansion is valid in this region. So this is the region in which you are asked to find out the expansion. So we have this. Now f of z is z squared multiplied with this quantity. So when you multiply your z squared with the quantity that you have, what do you have? When you multiply z squared with the term that you have, what will you have?
1 minus
1 minus
factorial
1
z
minus
1 by
1 by
3
3 factorial
z power
z power
4
4 Good. Then
plus
1 by 5
1 by 5 factorial
z power 8
z power 8 minus 1 by 7 factorial z power 12.
12, etc. See, your z square is analytic everywhere. So the region is absolute of z smaller than infinity. But your sine 1 upon z square is valid in this region only. So when you combine these two things, you will have to take the intersection of these two regions, and that is going to be the valid region for the function f of z. So z square, the validity of z square is there in entire complex plane. Here we have this. So when we make the intersection of these two regions, this is what we are going to have. Okay, when we try to generalize this one, what we will have is that okay, so this is 1 minus, okay, summation, this is what, 2n minus 1 factorial. Am I right? When you give n equals 1, you will get 1. When you give n equals 2, you will get 3. So this is how you are going to have. So from summation, n runs from 1 to infinity, and in the numerator we have things in the alternative way. Okay, so if I'm not wrong, okay, let me make it as 2n plus 1 so that it is going to run from 3. I have this 1 as it is, and 1 upon z to the power 4n. Am I right?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Now let us try one more problem. Which is the point of singularity here?
Z equals -1.
Z equals -1. Is the region clear? What is the region? Guys, what is the region here? Is this the entire complex plane, or some point is removed from the complex plane?
Some points are removed, sir.
Okay, some points are removed. What point is removed?
The -1.
-1 is removed from the complex plane. Yes, that's it. So this region means you have the center at -1. Okay, so you are, by this you are saying that you are omitting this point -1 from this, and the radius is given to be infinity, which means you will cover the entire complex plane except the point -1. Okay, because that is the only point of singularity for this function. We just removed it. Okay, now what is the expansion? Okay, can you give me the expansion of e power z? But
1 plus
remember,
z.
you will have to give the expansion of e power z about z equals -1, because that is the point of singularity. So about that point only you will have to expand. Is the idea clear? Class, is the idea clear?
Yes, sir.
Okay, Kana. Yes, try it out. How do you calculate it? Tell me whether your e power z is analytic everywhere or it has some singularity, e power z.
It's analytic everywhere.
Analytic everywhere, sir.
It is analytic everywhere. So for any point of analyticity, we can expand, we can give a Taylor series expansion. So when you try to give Taylor series expansion for this about z equals -1, about z equals -1 means first you must have f of, f of -1 plus f prime of -1 upon 1 factorial z minus of -1 plus f double prime at -1 upon 2 factorial z minus of -1 whole square plus f triple prime at -1 upon 3 factorial z minus of -1 cube plus etc. So this is your expansion, right? Now let us find out the values. What is your f of -1?
E power -1.
Per -1, and this shall be written as 1 upon e. What is your general nth derivative of z here? If you can find out the nth derivative, then that's completely fine. We can give different values of n to identify the various derivatives. Sorry?
1 by e z plus 1 power n divided by n factorial.
I'm just asking what is the nth derivative of the given function. Only that e power z.
E power z, sir.
E power z. So this tells us that nth derivative at -1 is simply e to the power -1, which is 1 upon e. This is true for all the values of n. Do you guys agree?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Okay. So when you give all these values here, you are going to have 1 upon e plus 1 upon 1 factorial e multiplied with z plus 1 plus 1 upon 2 factorial e z plus 1 whole square plus 1 upon 3 factorial times of e z plus 1 whole cube plus etc. Okay, this is the expansion. From this I am taking 1 upon e as a common quantity, so I will have 1 upon z plus 1 upon 1 factorial plus z plus 1 whole square upon 2 factorial plus z plus 1 cube upon 3 factorial plus etc. Is that clear?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Okay, now we need the expansion for e power z upon z plus 1 squared. Okay, that is 1 upon z plus 1 squared multiplied with 1 upon e. And here what do we have? That is starting from 1. So 1 plus z plus 1 upon 1 factorial plus z plus 1 whole square upon 2 factorial plus z plus 1 whole cube upon 3 factorial plus etc. Is that clear? Class, is that clear?
Yes, sir.
Okay. So I take this 1 upon e outside, and then when I multiply this quantity inside, this is what I am getting. Fine. So this quantity, let me try to generalize. Okay. I'll consider from this. This is summation. If I start with n runs from 0 to infinity, then in the denominator I have n plus 2 factorial. Okay. Here z plus 1 to the power n. So when n equals 0, I have only 1 upon 2 factorial. That is starting from this. When n equals 1, it is z plus 1 upon 1 plus 3, which is 3 factorial. And apart from this, what I have is 1 upon z plus 1 plus 1 upon z plus 1 whole squared. Is that clear?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Okay, pa. So hope you people have the idea of how to expand things in Taylor and Lorentz series. Can I believe that?
Yes, sir.
Okay, Kanna. So with which let me start the